Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and this video is going to help you review the cartoon vocabulary words, group number 1, for your quiz. Okay, so the first word is confound, and when you are confounding someone, it means that you're confusing or you're mixing someone up. So key things to keep in mind is that confound is a verb, which means that it must be paired with a subject, either a noun or a pronoun. And confounding is something that a person does to another person. You can confound someone. So an example would be to say, I confounded my brother. How did you confound him? You want to always make sure you give enough details in the sentence that someone who doesn't know what the word means could guess it. So, I confounded my brother when I asked him to pass me the potatoes when there was only corn on the dinner table. Clearly, that's going to confuse him. You could also be confounded by someone or something. I was confounded by the difficult math topic because I'm in the 6th grade and the topic was 8th grade math. Alright, so let's look at an example of this word from popular media.
Why must the universe confound me so?
Are you insane? I love her. Do you even know her? She doesn't know you. She's the inferior being, Harvey.
She's a good person.
She's an imbecile. How you ended up with her confounded me from day one. She'll never understand you like I do.
Alright, our next word is misconstrue. When you misconstrue, it means you're getting the wrong idea about something. You're misunderstanding. And again, just like confound, this is a verb. So it has to be paired with a subject, a noun, or a pronoun. You could say that you misconstrued something, I misconstrued something. You could talk about somebody else misconstruing something, he misconstrued something. Or you could say you misconstrue what somebody says. So an example would be, my mother misconstrued the proper way to open a can, so she tried to bash it open with a hammer. Now I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that because I was talking about something in the past tense, I took the word misconstrue, and I had to add a suffix at the end of it, the past tense ed, which gets added to verbs to show that this is an action that happened in the past. I hate when I misconstrue a teacher's explanation, because then I end up getting a bad grade. And so, unlike the previous sentence, this is not something that happened in the past. This is something that is happening in the present or is ongoing. And so no ed was added to the end of the word. Alright, our next word is oblivious. When you are oblivious, this is a word you would use to describe a person who doesn't know or isn't aware of what's happening. Now, because it is an adjective, it has to be paired with a noun. It is a perfect word to pair with the verb to be. So you would want to use some form of the verb to be, like was or is. You would start your sentence with a subject, a noun. And so it could be the person's name, or it could be the pronoun. So you could say my mother, you could say Nancy, you could say, I am oblivious, Nancy was oblivious, or Nancy is oblivious. The oblivious, okay, and again, you would need a noun, because here you are putting the word oblivious before the noun to describe that person. The oblivious teacher was, the oblivious policeman was, the oblivious mother was. What were they doing that shows they were oblivious? That's how I would finish that sentence. So an example would be, the police officer was oblivious to the robbery taking place across the street because he was too busy ordering his lunch. Again, I want to point out to you that I paired the word oblivious with the verb to be. Again, because oblivious is something that you are. You can be oblivious. The oblivious driver didn't realize he was going the wrong way down a one-way street. Again, you have the word oblivious. It's being used as an adjective. Who is being described as oblivious? The driver is being described as oblivious. And finally, our last word is canny. Canny is an adjective that means clever or smart or shrewd. Shrewd is a more sophisticated way of saying that somebody's very clever or canny. Because it's an adjective, it must be paired with a noun, and it could also be used as an adverb. And if you're going to use it as an adverb, then you have to add the suffix ly at the end. The suffix ly changes words into adverbs. So I cannily convinced my parents to let me skip my homework in order to play video games. And you can also use it as a noun. And when you use it as a noun, then you're talking about somebody's canniness. The student displayed great canniness or great cleverness, great smarts. The student displayed great canniness when he was able to get 100 on a test that he did not study for. The canny blank was. Again, just like with oblivious, since canny is an adjective, you can pair it right next to a noun, specifically the noun, or in this case, the person you are describing as canny. The canny card player was able to win every game in the card tournament through skillful gameplay. Why was he able to win? How was he canny? Because he was skillfully playing the game. And you can also say that you were canny or somebody was canny. I was canny when I was canny when I convinced my parents to let me go to my friend's house even though it was a school night. Obviously, in order to do that, I had to be very smart, very clever, very shrewd. Alright, so that was a review of the cartoon vocabulary words group number 1. And I hope this video helps you feel a little more confident for our vocabulary quiz.